Good morning, BookTube. I'm here to do a tag. I'm a little behind the times. I was tagged a couple weeks ago by Steve Donahue. And this is the recycling book tag, which was created by David Wardrop. And it's a good one. It's an interesting one. I enjoy tags. I usually don't do them on Tuesdays, which is the tradition. But such is life and such is my schedule. A lot of ice and snow here lately. Roads have been a mess. The temperature will go down below freezing, then pop up above freezing. Of course, we always worry folks walking, well, vehicles obviously, but also walking will fall and get hurt. So a lot of shoveling been going on, but it's hard to keep up with. Snow's easier than ice, I think. Ice is just so much more dangerous. So anyway, green is the one thing we don't have around here very much. We do have the evergreen trees, but the first question here is going green. Name a book with green on the cover or in the title. And I thought I'd go with one with both. Hopefully we can do this without too much glare. And this is The Green Fairy Book, edited by Andrew Lang, complete and unabridged. Every word and every one of the original illustrations. And it is a lovely book. It's a republication of the first edition of circa 1892. This is McGraw-Hill Book and Company, New York, Toronto, and London, with illustrations by H.J. Ford. It's just a lovely thing. There was a whole series of these. And this copy here, it looks like this is from Canada. No, this is actually from the United States. And it doesn't, 1966. So you start out here, let's see, read you a couple of titles. It has The Bluebird, The Half Chick, The Story of the Caliph Stork, The Enchanted Watch. I don't want to read all of these. The Story of the Clever Tailor, The Golden Mermaid, The War of the Wolf and the Fox, The Story of the Fisherman and His Wife. Let's see, get you some idea of some of these illustrations. Just a charming, charming book. And of course, the illustrations are great fun. Andrew Lang lived from 1844 to 1912, and he was a Scottish scholar and man of letters. Quite prolific writer. Some of the ones mentioned on the back here are Blue Fairy Book, Brown Fairy Book, Household Stories by the Brothers Grimm. I don't know why that's on there. Oh, it's Fairy Tale Collections from McGraw-Hill, that's why. So there's the list if you're interested in it. So yeah, green and green. And I just love looking at the illustrations. So that was the first question. The second one here is reduce. Thin or small book you own. Green again. Hopefully it comes across like that. It's a professional mixing guide. It looks like it was sold by a company called Bodenstedt Brothers. And as best I can tell out from the stamp is they were from Toledo, Ohio. It's not quite clear. All these old ads. Professional mixing guide. The accredited list, I don't know accredited by who, recognized and accepted standards, formulas for mixed drinks. Authentic, practical, concise, published and distributed by in the interest of standardization by the Angostura Wupperman Corporation out of New York. And this came out, my copy is from 1956. And here's some of the drinks. So we're getting all standardized. A little fold out thing in the back here for Angostura. And on the back here, this. So yeah, you don't get, oops, Don't get much thinner than that. So then next is reuse a book you have that's well worn. I don't even know why. It's nostalgia. I have other copies of this book. And this is from the 1960s. And it's beat to heck. It's my old copy of the Fellowship of the Ring. Its mates don't look much better. So this is, March 1969. But no, it's September 1969, so it's the 23rd printing. You can see how yellowed it is. That's all the acid in the paper. But this is the authorized edition. Don't forget they had some problems with Ace Publishing for a time. This is Ballantine. Yeah, even the back's broke, see? There's no reason to keep this. I can get beautiful copies now. Some reasonably priced, some not so much. This is just nostalgia, and if I ever sat down to read this, or if I hold it up too many more times in the video, it's just going to fall apart in my hands. So that's reuse. Well worn. Number 4, recycle. A book you have reread or most handled. That would be hard for me to tell, but I can get close. And again, it's the same old story. There's no reason for me to keep this book. It's a book that I can find a nice copy of and replace. It's just, I've had it so long. And that's Frank Herbert's classic Dune. Again, well worn. If I ever sat down and reread this again, this is an Ace Books. Even holding it open is putting it at some risk. It's lived its life. This is 1965. So this was made by arrangement with the Chilton's company. Chilton they do car manuals. So if you have a 76 Dodge, you order the 76 Dodge manual, that type of thing for car repair. They're the ones who first published Dune because nobody else would. But yeah, well, you can see it there. But this thing is seen better days. But when you figure a paperback, and it's lasted, 1969 to 2019 or 2020, that's a pretty good run for a paperback. How much did this thing cost when it first came out? It should be on here somewhere. It cost, pretty expensive, $2.25. So, yeah, that is reread many, many times. Again, one that I should just replace, I think. And don't throw away. What is your oldest book or book you refuse to part with? My oldest book is from the 1600s. I've shown it on this channel before. But I thought I'd do something a little different here, go a different direction. I reuse this one. The other one I don't read. It's interesting, but I don't reread it. And this I wouldn't part with until, if I know that the Science Fiction Book Club did a copy, because I have 2 later volumes in the series by them. I think I would replace this if I could. I used to have it and its mates, a couple more volumes, in beautiful, beautiful paperback volumes. And I've had them forever. So, and that would be the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, the greatest science fiction short stories of all time. The list would be different now a little bit. Of course, these things change over time. It's edited by Robert Silverberg, a writer I really enjoy. Here's a list of the stories. You can see this thing has been through the trenches. This is Avon Publishers. And it is first Avon printing in July 1971. So right off the bat, I had a story I loved, A Martian Odyssey by Stanley G. Weinbaum, which was first published in 1934. It has its introduction here by Silverberg. It has Twilight by John W. Campbell, Helen Alloy by Lester Del Rey, The Roads Must Roll by Robert A. Heinlein, Microcosmic God by Theodore Sturgeon, Nightfall by Asimov, Weapon Shop by A. Van Vogt, Mimsy Where the Boro Grows by Lewis Paget. Sean D. Standfast will be happy to hear. It has Huddling Place by Clifford D. Simak. It has Arena by Frederick Brown. First Contact by Maury Leinster. And then we go on. You have Judith Merrill, that Only a Mother. And then Scanners Live in Vain by Cordwainer Smith. So it just keeps going on and on. I'm not going to... 9 Billion Names of God by Arthur C. Clarke, which was one of my favorites. And yeah, it just keeps going. So a wonderful, wonderful book. So yeah, if I find a good copy of that, I would replace it. So some of these paperbacks, obviously, the last 3 books on the pile need to be replaced. So you've got the Green Fairy book, Andrew Lang. So let me see, Complete and Unabridged. We've got the Little Mixer's Guide from the 50s. We've got J.R. Tolkien Part 1, The Fellowship of the Ring, authorized version, or edition, excuse me. We've got Dune in a little ace paperback. And you've got an Avon here, Science Fiction Hall of Fame. So that is my recycle book. See, I just ripped it a little bit. Recycle book tag. Like I say, I'm way late in doing this. Anybody who hasn't done it, obviously feel free to do it. If you're a newer BookTube channel, it might be helpful for your channel to go ahead and throw out some of these tags because a lot of people search by them. And it's a way to get your name out there. And we have a lot of really good BookTube channels showing up, so that's great fun. So thank you to David Wardrop and to Steve Donahue, and I hope everyone has a good week. Thank you, BookTube.